In UMC 2.2 update, France will receive brand new communist paths. And oh boy, it's a lot to talk about, as you can see. So let's not waste time and get straight to it. There are actually two ways how to get to the communism. First way is to select the Popular Front first, then slowly increase your communism support through these focuses until you are ready to complete this focus. This focus puts Maurice Torres as your leader of the Popular Front, and then you have two options here. You can either make him to respect democracy a bit more, that way you will stay democratic and you can complete these focuses, and also the democratic foreign policy branch, or you can push Torres' agenda, and when you complete this focus, then you can switch to communism through the French political stability decisions. Sounds pretty straightforward, right? Well, trust me, there is a lot going on. You will have to deal with the opposition, you will have to keep your stability high, you will have to deal with numerous events, and don't forget that you will also have to deal with the Popular Front's problems, such as the terrible workers' condition, and of course, political stability. So, why would you want to switch to communism this way, you ask? Well, one major difference between switching through the Popular Front path and the communism path is that if you switch through the Popular Front path, you will be able to not suffer a civil war, and you will also keep all your military focuses, meaning either Gamelin's or de Gaulle's branches. These focuses are not available if you go down the communist line. That's because they simply don't fit. Now let's talk about the true communist branch. As you should already know, in 1936 there are legislative elections. Historically, they were won by the Popular Front. But what if the communists candidated for themselves only? Well, that question is answered in this branch. And you know what? I will show it to you in game. Let's take a look. As you can see, we got the initial event that explains everything. And now when we unpause, let's see what happens with our nation. And it has happened, the Civil War is here. And we have to fight it. And let's unpause again and see what happens. Fighting begins. Our country is fire, Soviets send support. The blood in our country. It's a mess, as you would expect from the Civil War. Oh, what's that? Charles de Gaulle assumes control over French African territory. As you can see, a new France arose here, led by Charles de Gaulle, that will try to oppose us later. But back to our Civil War. It can't get any worse, right? Alright, so we lost North Africa. And Indochina. And Syria demands independence. And Madagascar. Hey, at least some freedom fighters want to fight the French forces. I mean the bad French forces, of course. And finally, there is also an uprising in Indochina. Admiral Darlan will have to try his best to defend his new homeland. So, do you now see why you would want to go down the Popular Front branch to get the communism? I think it's pretty clear. But that's not all. Let's reset our game and take a look on the post-Civil War communism branches. So, even before the Civil War, you can complete these focuses. When you are communist, you can complete these focuses, which improve your military and so on. You can also complete this focus, which creates an intelligent agency, and also gives you a pretty nice national spirit. By the way, you can also complete this focus when you are going the Popular Front, and you don't even have to switch to communism if you want this focus. Then we have here the set up communist cells in Africa, through which you can stage uprisings in African territories. And then we have this focus, which just flatly increases resistance in all of occupied Africa. Now, after the civil war, you can complete this focus, which helps you to rebuild your country. Then you have some industrial focuses here, then some political and research focuses here, and finally you can begin the Red Aligned foreign policy. And now we are getting to some more interesting things. Well, wait, I think all of that was interesting, right? Anyway, here you have to choose whether you want to be loyal to the people or loyal to the Comintern and Soviet Union. If you select this focus, you ask Soviet Union if you can join their alliance. Then we have this little focus, the assume the global communist leadership. This focus can only be completed if Soviet Union is close to surrender or is not controlling Stalingrad, Moscow and Leningrad. And if you complete this focus and Soviet Union accepts your demands, you annex Soviet Union, because someone has to continue the fight and defeat those Nazis, right? There are also focuses down here for the Franco-Soviet cooperation. There is the industrial cooperation and military cooperation. And just so you know, these focuses can also be completed if you are going down the Popular Front branch through these focuses. These are also quite interesting, but I will talk about them later. So you can get to these focuses either way. Whew. Back to the communism branch. If you decide to be loyal to the people, you can either get Charles Dillon to protect France or Paul Eluard to lead France. Basically, Eluard is non-militarist, so he just wishes to defend France through this focus, and Dillon wishes to defeat every fascist and Nazi nation in Europe, basically, through these, for now, vanilla focuses. And now finally we are getting to Leon Trotsky's branch. Bear in mind that you can complete this focus only if you had the civil war, because as you can see, the path goes here, here, here and here. What concerns Trotsky, he is a very powerful leader, and through him you can initiate a 4-year plan, build the new French army, make France the unshakable bastion of true Marxism, and initiate the Permanent Revolution. And what looks like just one focus is a decision category that targets every nation in the world. Through these decisions, you can do 5 things. You can either invite any communist nation to your faction, you can puppet any nation that is in your faction, you can annex any puppet that is in your nation, you can justify on any nation, and when you are at war with that nation, you can spawn militia units on that nation's territory. And finally, which is the 6th thing, through this decision you will slowly core all the conquered territory. And then you have, of course, focus to kill Stalin finally. Whew, that was exhausting, well, especially coding all of that, because trust me, when you play this, you will find more things that I didn't even show you. So, few words for the end, and this is also a call to action. First of all, I would very much appreciate if you check my Patreon to support me so I can continue modding a bit longer. You don't have to do that right now, but when the 2.2 update releases, which is in at maximum 14 days, maybe you can check it out then, and decide if it's worthy a few dollars. And on the other note, if you are a modder, it doesn't matter if you are just a beginner or if you are already an experienced master. If you are a modder and you like what you see here, but you are also thinking that, a few more focuses can definitely be here, then how about you contact me on Discord, because I would very much like to bring some new faces to the UMC, because now it's just me basically doing all the coding. And this would be the perfect place where you can begin your modding career in UMC, making some, basic or not basic focuses for the communist branch. Especially Torres needs something here under his own path. I'm thinking something like communist colonialism or even supporting communist civil war in USA, or whatever crazy stuff you can think of. And at the final end, I would like to thank you all for your amazing support. Also, I would like to apologize for lack of updates, but I have been working really hard to bring you this update, and it will finally happen soon. So have a bit more patience, and I will continue working, and I see you in the next video. Bye!